Once you make an SSM and brand it with a name and a logo, is there a way to copyright trademark them to protect them from being copied? For example, how did you protect HISadvocates name logo from being utilized by others? I didn't. Um, and I'm not worried about it. If somebody wants to get out there and there are people that have taken the name HISadvocates and sold my product and represented my company or my ministry and gotten out there. I'm not going to register. I have a private copyright. If I wanted to, I can go after them and sue them. They can go get a public copyright and start doing HISadvocate stuff all over the nation. And to be honest with you, go for it. Um, I'm really not worried about it. There's such, this is a new, for me, it's a nuancy thing. It's a knowledge thing. I think people could hurt us if anything, so that's a worry for me. But I'm not about to register a copyright into any structure or any system. I'm not about to register a name. You just do a private copyright and then if you want, you can go into their courts and sue them, and you can win damages for being the first in line, first in time on a private copyright. But you can't, it's so difficult to stop somebody that's big that wants to get out and ruin you. I mean, there's nothing you can do to deal with that. And I kind of addressed that with you before. And I'll give you an example. I had a buddy create a hat or a ball cap buddy, I think he called it, and to wash hats in a dishwasher. And it was genius. You spray on the peroxide or the whatever that stuff is called, the oxygen stuff on the interior of the hat and whatever spots, and then jump it in the dishwasher and boom, it comes out same shape and same form. Well, some Chinese company came out and went big and raked in 40-50 million inside of a year. And by the time his lawsuit even got any traction, they were out of business and gone with the cash. So I look at things like, it literally is like, if God has to have my back and honoring that. And so there's not a whole lot we can do, whether it's private or public. And this guy had a public trademark and a public copyright and a patent. And what are you going to do? It's a Chinese company. They're doing their own ads. They're doing whatever. And they just hit it hard. I mean, I bought a half a dozen products from China in the last 60, 90 days, and two of them are completely fake. They mail you an empty package. And then you dispute the credit on your PayPal, and PayPal says, nope, we got a delivery on such and such date. It was an empty package. What do you do? And I know it's off topic, but the reality is that's the nature of who's trying to take over this nation. So we have to think about, how can you protect it? And the private copyrights is as much as you can do, as far as I'm concerned. I would have to look into what the exact meanings of the trademark office, their registration process, maybe do a FOIA on what their definitions are for their applications, and make that determination, because I don't want to turn anything over to the federal government or to the state, which is by implication what you're doing when you register something. So that's why I don't do it. I know it's a long-winded answer, and I think this is what you want. I think you just got to hope and pray that which is enforceable. Private copyrights are enforceable. But you're going to bring that entity into a public court. And do you want to even bring that entity into a public court to enforce the private copyright? And the answer is probably not. So it's ding if you do and dang if you don't. And there are some benefits of this registration, that simple process of registering a deed. There are some benefits, but there's also benefits of privatizing it. A private deed, unrecorded deed, is more powerful than a public deed. Go look up the word counter deed in Black's Law. It's a private side deed that will trump the public side recording. And so the private sides are probably more powerful than the public side. And so if there were anybody to public side record something with the name HISadvocates, I'll guarantee I can go in and probably do something to thwart that or stop that a private copyright is in fact in place. But I'm not really caring about it. And but it's a good question. I really haven't been concerned about that. I really haven't. we are going to go quite large in the next couple of years. So maybe I need to have international attorneys work through that with me. And, we are going to be bringing on international non-bar carded attorneys to bring suit against the Department of State, and have them open up a gateway to state citizens as a settlement. And we're going to be big enough to do that in hopefully 3 or 4 years. That's millions of dollars in a single case. So because of what they're doing to try to stop or thwart people, and what they're doing on the DS-11 to try to convert people. So the next big thing that they're going to do is probably talk about state citizens being synonymous with sovereign citizens. You know what I'm saying? And that's when we hit them with some class. And this is where it's all going to go. It's going to go to international something with between international non-bar carded attorneys against bar carded attorneys, fighting for the rights of the people. And but who do you submit that to? I mean, what courts do you actually trust with that these days? I think ultimately it's all going to be in the hands of God soon. So 2 cents.